I'm gonna be busy. Yeah, definitely gonna be busy with this, but I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. Got an expedition golf tournament tomorrow.
Uh-oh. I can't play golf. I suck.
Why don't?
Sorry. What's going on, Cole? Welcome. Alright, you guys, welcome to our first pre-game show for PSL Season 2. This is week 3. I'm in the booth with Thomas Noble. What's going on, Thomas?
Never much. Thank you for having me over.
Appreciate you coming by. So we're going to talk about the games that's coming up in about an hour from now. First game that's coming up is the Jets versus
Versus the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I'm trying to click stuff at the same time. So, PSLN presents Jets versus the Rams. To me, this is going to be a great game between these two. Rams, they're coming in here 0-2. Jets coming in 1-1. Kind of took the league by surprise with that big win over the Jaguars last week. Rams, Super Bowl contenders last season, coming in with a 0-2 record. It's going to be questionable. We have both MVPs from last season coming in this game, Troy Pressing and Noah Johns, as you see here on the video. What's your talks on this game?
Well, I say on this game here, the Jets are really aggressive offense with former Miami Dolphin quarterback Noah Johns. Apparently, he's the MVP of this league last season. Troy Preston has been everywhere since the exciting game against the Jaguars from Week 1 at London. So it's going to be either one of those two teams here who is going to walk up with a victory here.
Yeah, I mean, Jets, they come in, they lost their first game. Let me see who they lost against.
I believe it was the Vikings.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. I mean, they are the Super Bowl champions. It's a very hard matchup. They're an expansion team. But then they came into week 2 and beat the Jaguars by 7 points. It wasn't like the Jaguars did have a chance to try to tie it up at the end of the game, but they couldn't come away with it. Jets really surprised a lot of people. I'm pretty sure only one person voted for the Jets to win that game, and they came and they conquered, and now they're sitting 1-1, ranked number 6 in the league right now. Some people want to say it was a fluke game because Jalen kind of had some crazy run that went backwards. To me, it doesn't matter. That game, it would have been tied, but Jets still came out there and performed. That was one play, one mistake, and Jets, to me, they ended up winning the game because they actually outperformed the Jaguars.
Yeah, I agree for one thing. The only way yeah, excuse me, the Jets' reason they won the game is because Jalen Rose had just run the wrong way and that Mac glitch. That's everyone just being pissed at right now here.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be looking for some revenge. We are going to talk to him a little bit later on in the show, but you know, Jets, they, like I said earlier, they have the MVP matchup against Preston and Johns. Last week, Preston had 17 rushes, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that fancy dancy kick return at the beginning of the game. I believe it was probably like the first play of the game that we really thought the Rams were going to win that game. They ended up losing to the Vikings last week, 36-41. So a common factor for the Jets and the Rams today with that loss to the Vikings in the first and second week. Rams barely lost though. They lost by 5 last week. But, you know, they definitely had some really good spouts that, you know, it's going to make it difficult for the Jets. On the other hand, Noah John comes in with a 119.2 quarterback rating, 210 yards, 18 for 23, and 1 touchdown. So, you know, I mean, people are asking, can we talk about what happened to the Rams? I don't know. I mean, they're playing the Super Bowl champion. They look pretty good for the first half, and then the second half, I don't know what happened. Just things just went downhill from there. We look at the box score. It was pretty close. It was 17-24 in the half, so only down by 7 at half. They ended up scoring 12 points in the third, and then I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. Can you explain it?
I have nothing to explain about this.
Yeah, I mean, Orbit, you know, he looked really good too. He was 18 for 26, missed about 8, but some of his receivers dropped the ball a lot too. So we'll see if that changes here. Who is your prediction on who's going to win this game, Rams or Jets, Thomas? I know you wanted to wait for the podcast to say who you thought was
Yep,
going to win this.
yep. For this game between the Jets and the Rams, I am going to pick the New York Jets to upset the Los Angeles Rams.
All right, tell us why.
Because, like you said about the Rams are good in the first half. They're gonna struggle in the second half. I think they're gonna be the same exact thing will happen for the last two games. And Noah Johns is one of the best quarterbacks right now. Might be the good quarterbacks in the PSL right now. He has the best QBR as of this rate. He has good young wide receivers into the season after a win over the Jags and lost to the Vikings, the Super Bowl champions. And the Rams defense is look garbage from the first two games. So I do say the Jets offense is going to make some aggressive plays on the field, and Noah Johns will make some trickery on the Rams defense. And I do believe Pressing will have a good game, but the Jets defense will find a way to stop his run edge. And I think the Jets are going to win by 10 points over the Rams.
Oh man, what a bold take on that. I'm saying that the Rams are going to win this game. Um, not trying to show any kind of favoritism when I make my picks. I'm just saying I'm basing it off of numbers and what I've seen so far in this season. My reason why the Rams will win this game is because of quarterback Orbit. I think that they're going to come out here week 3. They do not want to go in this season 0-3 after being a Super Bowl contender. I think that they upgraded right. I think that Orbit's going to come out here and show why he's one of the top quarterbacks in this league. He's definitely got his hands full trying to handle that Jets defense. Um, I think Jets kind of got a little. They did get a little lucky playing against the Jaguars. But they did definitely played well. I'm pretty sure that the Rams are going to come out here, do some adjustments from last week, and get this win. What they got to do is get their players involved on offense. They have to keep pushing it. They can't slack up in the second half. If they can do that, they can definitely come out on top of the Jets. But this is no walk in the park for them. Jets, last week, matter of fact, they only had one person voted for them. People think it's going to be a walk in the park because they're expansion team. But like I've said plenty of times, a lot of these expansion teams have established players on their team. So it's going to be a telltale at the end. I think it's going to come down to a turnover. And I'm going to say Rams win it by 7.
Sorry to break to you, but the Rams, I don't think they're going to win this game. They lost Payne Cash to an early retirement.
Yeah, but Peyton Cash wasn't doing nothing for them. It's all Troy Preston. This is Troy Preston show here.
He has at least have receiving passes. He's been more involved in week 1. So without Payne Cash, I just don't see how the Rams rushing core is gonna make an effect on these Jets tonight.
I understand that, but now Troy is back as the only running back. Well, technically Cash is still there, but I think that the Rams are going to make the adjustment to really get back to giving Preston the ball back a lot more, like they did in season 1, where Troy Preston was dominating the entire league at the running back position. But we'll see on this defense with the front 7 from the Jets that can be a little bit powerful and really try to control that run game. But if Preston gets to the outside, it's over with. And I don't know if the Jets cornerbacks and free safety can keep up with Preston today.
I'm pretty sure they will.
All right, we're going to see soon. They come on at 4 o'clock as we will be taking a look at the Rams versus the Jets. You guys voted, and you guys said that y'all think that, let me see what y'all predictions were. All right. So, half the league agrees with me. They picked the Rams 43 votes to 2 versus the Jets. So, you must have been one of them 2 people that voted for the Jets. Let me see. You didn't even vote for them. You voting for them in here. You better make your prediction. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next game, which is going to be the Vikings versus the Jaguars. So, for some reason, even though the Vikings are the Super Bowl champion, they keep being the underdogs. I do not understand that. I don't understand why the league always votes against them. Can somebody please explain why you guys are voting against the Vikings? Who do you got on this game, Thomas?
Again, I don't know why do you have to count the Vikings as the underdogs of this. First of all, yes, the Jaguars are favorites, but here's the thing. They lost because Jalen Rose had to run backwards and from a man glitch. So unfortunately, that's still going to sting the Jaguars in their heads. I'm gonna pick the Vikings to win the game with Ryan Joseph throwing for almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and the Vikings will win by 20 points.
I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think the Vikings are gonna come out here. They're gonna dominate. Jaguars definitely have to find their rhythm as we come here and see the Vikings trying to show out. Why is my video not playing? Alright, I had some technical difficulties. Hold on for a minute. Go ahead, Thomas, talk about the Jets while I do this. I mean, Jaguars, I mean.
Yeah, like the Jaguars are a good team at week 1. They just got their first win in the franchise, but problem is they didn't progress on offense or find their tempo. That's what the problem is. So if they don't find the tempo, they don't win games well.
Alright, sorry about that. I did have a video for that, but unfortunately, you know how technology is, doesn't want to go. One thing we want to talk about with the Vikings and Jaguars is that quarterback matchup between these two. Oh my god, where is all my stuff at? Alright, so forget that. Anyway, I had the matchup of the quarterbacks between these two. Jalen Rose and Ryan Yosef. Ryan Yosef went last week 158.3 quarterback rating, 382 yards, 22 for 26, and 4 touchdowns. This dude is unstoppable. If you guys don't think he's the number 1 quarterback in this league, I don't know what to tell you. Jalen Rose came out 105.8 QBR, 262 yards, 25 for 33, 2 touchdowns. So, the difference between these two, though, is they're completely different quarterbacks. Jalen Rose is a more of a scrambling quarterback versus Ryan Yosef as a pocket thrower. He's definitely good with passing and finding his receivers. So, a little bit of drama that's going on with that, though. Jalen Rose has not been getting his number 1 wide receiver, Cole Hewitt, involved. So, I think that's going to play a big role in that, too. We're going to see some little saltiness going on. If he doesn't get him involved today, I imagine Cole Hewitt might ask for a trade. But if the Jaguars want to win this matchup, they definitely going to have to get their receivers involved. And they need to get DeQuavis Orbit running. I mean, this dude, to me, he's one of the top running backs in this league. If they can get him involved and get him running and don't rely on Jalen Rose the entire time, they definitely could win this game. I don't know how close of a matchup this is going to be. I feel like the Vikings probably going to win this by 10 if the Jaguars don't come out and get their passing game going. Because Jalen Rose can throw. Don't get me wrong. He can definitely throw. But we need that Jaguars defense to step up too. Because on the other side, Ryan Yosef is going to throw that ball all over the place. And I think you said he was going to get about 400 yards.
300 or 400.
Yeah. So we'll see if they get that going. You guys voted that the Jaguars are going to win this game. 28-16 is the vote count. Like I said, everybody keeps putting the Vikings as the underdog. So let's call in Jalen Rose here to get his input on coming in at the quarterback spot. What's up, Jalen? Can you hear us, Jalen?
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Have you heard?
Yep, we can hear you. Can you guys hear him? I see somebody saying, "What's up, Jalen?"
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. All right, so you guys have a big game coming up against.
I can't hear you through the Discord call.
All right. I'm gonna just talk and type the question in here, so hopefully you can multitask, okay? Alright, I don't think that's gonna work. Anyway, what I was gonna ask him with his big game against the Vikings, how does he think his quarterback's gonna do? Alright, that's not gonna work. We're just gonna keep moving on. So the Vikings coming in 2-0 versus the Jaguars 1-1. Vikings have scored 79 points in the last 2 weeks, and allowed 57 points against them in the last 2 weeks versus the Jaguars only scoring 54 points and allowing 58 points against them. Another reason why I think the Vikings are going to win this game, at least by 10. What do you think the Jaguars need to do, Thomas, to win this game?
Find their tempo, get the receivers more involved. But apparently, I don't see that happening here.
Yeah, and what do you think about Cole asking for a trade if he doesn't get the ball more in this game? You think that's going to happen?
I believe it's going to happen, but if there's one team that Cole Hewitt may be going to join if he doesn't get more involved with the Jaguars, and I believe that team will be I believe the team my prediction on the team that Hewitt might want to join if he wants to trade. I'm gonna go either the Los Angeles Rams, but they're loaded with the receivers right now. The other option here for a team that needs receivers has to go to the Jets.
Hello?
I mean, I say the Jets or the Colts.
Hello?
Definitely. Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, welcome to the show, Jalen. So what I was gonna ask you, you guys have a big game against the Vikings, and a lot of people, they do have you guys voted as the winners in this game. I mean, unfortunately, I don't think y'all gonna win this game. What do you think is gonna happen in this game today?
I think that is going to be a clash of ideologies between me and Ryan. It's going to be a hard-fought battle, but I think in the end, we will eventually come out on top. The score will be, I think, in the 30s. I'd say maybe 35 to 33. It's definitely going to come down to the wire. We the series between us is tied 1-1. This is the tiebreaker. See who looks better for season 2. So again, this is a really important game for our team.
Yeah, definitely a very important game for your team to really stand the tails of if you're going to be in the top 4 in the league, or if you're going to remain at, right now you're ranked at number 5 on a 1-game losing streak after that loss against the Jets last week. Let's talk about your fluke move that happened. What was going on in your head? Were you confused on which end you were supposed to be going to? Or, you know, I mean, I know it's a game, but we're talking in that perspective.
Well, there isn't really much excuse to talk about that, really. It's something that, as a QB, I should have known what I was doing. I tried pulling out some backyard football or the yard strats, and they just didn't work out for me.
Yeah, especially the
And
fact that you were on the 1 yard line. That was kind of just
yeah,
crazy.
that sucked.
Anyway, we'll move
And, but
on.
I
We'll move on from
but I
that.
brought the but I got a 70-yard rush to make up for it though.
Yeah, you did. But you guys
I don't
ended
know
up
how.
losing that
I don't know
game.
why they didn't put a spy on me. They really should have put a spy on me, and I'm mad I didn't score.
So, with all that running around the field and stuff, how are you going to get your receivers involved? I've heard a lot of rumors about Cole Hewitt being a little upset and that he might ask for a trade after this game if he doesn't get some more touches. I mean, he did come away with a touchdown, but I mean, I guess that's not enough for him. What do you say to your teammate?
What do I say to Cole Hewitt? I say that I understand his frustrations, and that me and him, and Royce are both working on new playbooks, new depth chart positions, and basically, when someone finds a problem with the way our system works, me and the management, we talk with them, see their points of view, and we understand what their issue is and how we can figure out ways in practice to fix that issue.
I mean, he's
Will
got a
that work
valid
against
point.
the
You're
Vikings defense? I
you're
don't know. The
you're
Vikings defense is actually very tough.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a valid point. Your points that you scored in the last 2 weeks is 54, um, kind of towards the lower end of the league. Definitely have a great receiving core that if you can get them involved, I'm pretty sure those numbers are going to go up. But like you said, you're playing one of the top defenses in the league. They are actually ranked number 2 now that the Seahawks won last week or this week. They're ranked number 2, so that's going to be a tall order for you guys. And, best of luck against them. The league thinks that you guys are going to win this game. What do you
I
and you
appreciate
think
that
so
from you.
too? Of course, because it's your team. But definitely, like you said, it's going to be a real hard matchup against you two. And Thomas, anything you want to ask the quarterback?
Yeah, I do here. Jalen, question for you here. You're taking on what might be the top two teams in this league out of the Vikings, who have a quarterback who threw 300, over almost 400 yards, and 4 touchdowns in that last week's game here, and you're taking on a good defense out of this as well here. The question remains here is, how do you going to take on a great front and outer core of the Vikings defense and get your receivers involved?
Can you repeat the question? Because you sound kind of quiet on the call.
He wants to know basically with their stout defense, how are you going to get your receivers involved?
We are going to get them set up in what they do best. Randy is going to go deep. We're going to have Cole on the slants, and he'll possibly rerunning some streak routes or posts. And Max Chapman, he's a do-it-all wide receiver. He could play anywhere. He could play the slot. He could play deep. He's just a great wide receiver, and I'm glad. And he was actually quite the steal that I'm very proud of. But our receiving core is talented enough to get the job done. And if the line holds and Aquarius, keeps them on their heels, they won't be expecting to play action, and we can get the job done.
All right. I'm reading the chat. Everybody's asking, why are people disrespecting the Vikings? I absolutely have
Well,
no idea why people are disrespecting the Vikings. I mean, one, they're a Super Bowl
so let me bring
champion,
up this point.
so I guess people just are hating on them. I don't know.
They're accountable like the
Let me bring up
PSL
this point.
version of the New England Patriots.
So you think that we will lose because of the tough loss that we came off of, but remember, last season we beat them by at least 15, I think it was, when we were 1-7, and basically half the team was inactive. So a loss like that, even though it's a very big heartbreaker, it doesn't compare to being 1-7 and having the worst frustration of being the worst team in the league for such a long time. That was before we beat your team, Thomas.
Uh-oh, don't get them started. Don't get them
I,
started.
apparently I do remember that game here. And
You have a little trash talk in the booth, you know?
did the Jags and the Vikings tie the series or something like that, or was it like the Vikings pull away the series?
Yeah, it's
Because
1-1. We
think
lost.
it, I
We
think it
lost to
was
them.
a tie here. I'm not sure.
So
Wait, I
they
want to
won
know
first.
why
We
y'all
won.
going in the past. That's the past. We in a new season right now. The record is 1-1 for the Jaguars, 2-0 for the Vikings. I don't know why everybody keeps bringing up the past of these two teams, but you know,
I
this
guess
is a
we're just like.
completely new season.
But apparently,
I
the
think people just
past
like
is
us
always
because of
full of
our spirit.
facts, and you
We
should
were
know
we
this.
were the complete underdogs for most of the season, and we worked our way up to being a competitor for the season. So a lot of people like us, and they expect us to win this game, and I really do appreciate that from PSL. Even though I feel like their opinion is kind of misplaced as the Vikings being Super Bowl champions.
I mean, you really can't like not think about that because they've been. I mean, they're still
I
coming
mean,
out
the
firing off
Rams of
of.
all teams.
They're still coming out firing off of all
Now,
cylinders. It's. I mean, between Vikings and the Seahawks, it's going to be really hard to stop either one of those teams. I actually can't wait for that matchup because that's just going to be a battle. But since we have you on the line, who do you think is going to win that Jets versus the Rams game?
now, normally my favorite would be the Rams, of course, but after seeing the performance from the Jets defense and how they were able to shut us down, and even even when we were sprouting a comeback and stuff, they just have a really great team with them, and I think that their GM really knows what he's doing. So I'll say they win the game, but Troy Preston is gonna go off, and he'll keep it close to the Rams. You can't. There's no doubt about that. Troy Pressing is Troy Pressing.
Oh, I finally got that video to play that I spent so much time making. Well, not really. It didn't take me that long. But, you know, you guys are coming into Vikings territory, which their stadium is huge. They got a lot of fans. You know, and they're trying to keep that perfect record right now. And like I mentioned earlier, we have two different style quarterbacks and two different style running backs. Let's talk about those running back matchups real quick. Taco Touchdown's been getting a lot of trash talking towards him. Very questionable trade from the Vikings to pick up Taco versus TK, who has been beasting against for the Bengals. Taco, he's been known to be called 2-yard Taco instead of Taco Touchdowns versus DeQuavis Orbit, who's one of my favorite running backs in the league. How do you think that matchup is going to be today? Do you think Taco made some adjustments that he's going to be getting more than 2 yards per carry, or will the Vikings defense shut down DeQuavis, Thomas?
So
Well,
here's
to
my
me here,
thing.
I would say DeQuavis will get more touches on the football than what Taco has. And there's one reason as well the Bengals do have to release Taco or trade Taco. He's no good for the Bengals organization, and apparently I'm worried that he might trash the Vikings at this point here. I think that's part of the reason why everyone should pick the Jags for a purpose. And DeQuavis Orban is one of the top running backs in this league, and I think he should run for almost 100 or 150 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns, and apparently the Vikings defense is going to be elite. But I still think they're going to win by 20 points for the Vikings.
Oh my God, 20 points. You hear that, Jalen?
Now, Thomas, here's some fruit for
Because the
thought. You ready?
Vikings offense is more elite,
You know how
and
rare it
I'm
is for a
more
team
of
to
a
stop the
elite
Clavius?
offenses whatsoever.
And when a team does, in fact, stop the Clavius, you know what usually happens? We start throwing the ball, and we start getting yardage. And with our playbook that we're running this game, you have to choose between stopping me or the Clavius on the runs. Me and the boys had talked, and we decided that if I'm going to be a scrambling quarterback, I just start running the read option a lot more than I do. So that's our game plan. Run read option, some more some wide receiver screens, kind of a West Coast spread offense a little bit, but it's something that I don't know if the Vikings have seen that from us yet. I don't
So
know if they've seen
we got some
my
action
ability.
going on in the chat. Rabbit he's wanting to say why he thinks that the Vikings is the best team in the league. So let me go ahead and try to call
That's
him.
Benjamin Douglas, actually.
Huh?
That's Benjamin Douglas, so his opinion is kind of very subjective.
Rabbit is? I thought that was
Yeah.
Derek Stingley.
Actually, I think Benjamin Douglas and Derek Stingley, they're on the same team, I think. This is my knowledge from Super Casual.
No, I was
So
about to say they're not on the same team in PSO.
no, I'm saying like my knowledge from Super Casual because they're on the same team. So I'm figuring that it's Benjamin Douglas, but it's actually just Derek Stingley.
Yeah, that's
I
Derek
get names
Stingley.
confused like
So let
that.
me call him and get his input. Appreciate you, Jalen, for coming in. I'm gonna put you on mute for a second so we can talk to him, and we'll bring you back
Okay.
in. Okay?
All right.
All right. We're gonna call in Vikings defensive back Derek Stingley for the Vikings.
AKA the rookie who came out of the draft.
Yes, he is a rookie. Derek, are you here? Hey, Derek, what's going on?
Not much. Excited for the game today.
Yes, of course. It's going to be a great one. I think this might even be the game of the week between these two. A lot of bad blood between them. How does it feel coming in as a rookie, trying to make a name for yourself? You already have like an interception and been making some good plays as a rookie here on the previous Super Bowl winning. What do you think is going to happen here? Why do you think you guys are the best in the league?
Well, it's simple. We have the best players. Our quarterback Ryan Yosef has been playing phenomenal. This year, our wide receiving core I think is borderline unstoppable. We do have we do struggle in the run game, but I mean, we have TLK as our fullback. I don't think anyone can stop TLK, and he's probably better than our half. But I just think it's our defense that puts us over the edge. We have gave up a lot of points recently. We just make plays when we need to.
Yeah, I have to agree. I was going to actually bring up the fact about TLK, who I've said it in the streams a few times that this guy usually scores every single game except for that one fluke game against the Seahawks last season. But he can score in every single game. He's been putting up more points at fullback and more yards at fullback than the running back. I'd be anxious to see if the coach changes that gameplay. Have you guys talked about starting him at running back more or anything? Have you heard anything?
Me personally, no, I've not heard anything, but in the Vikings locker room, there has been some talks about questioning Taco's ability as our starting halfback. I'm not quite sure if it'll be a change that we see, but it is definitely a possibility.
All right. And while we got you on here, since, I mean, it's kind of early, week 3, to be talking about awards, but you are definitely putting on a showcase for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Do you have anything to say about that? Do you foresee you accomplishing that award? Or do you think that you just have a lot of room to improve? What's your thoughts?
I would love to win it. I think I need to get a little bit better. I've been burned a couple times. I've got juked out far too many times this year. But I think there's a possibility it could happen. But at the end of the day, I don't really care about my stats or my awards. I just want to win the Super Bowl, and I think
Gotcha.
the Vikings are in a good spot to do that.
Yeah, definitely in a good spot. One of the teams that they have to worry about is the Seahawks. I mean, you have to worry about any team in this league because we seen it last week with these crazy wins and stuff. Thomas, you got any questions for Derek?
I do have a question here for this defensive rookie here for the Vikings. Derek, I know for a fact the Vikings are a good team with the defensive backs and all, but when when the Vikings are going to face the Seattle offense, which that game will come up later this few more weeks. Do you have? But I know you guys are focusing on the Jaguars, but do you have any game plan for the Vikings against a top team out of the Seattle Seahawks for the next coming weeks?
Right now, I don't think we do. Right now, I think the plan is just to stick to what we've been doing. That could change. Just depends on how we play today. Seahawks are a great team, but right now they're kind of out of our minds. We're focusing on the Jaguars game today, and if we can win today, I think we'll be comfortable going into that Seattle game.
Big question. What do you think the score is going to be between the Vikings and Jaguars?
I think it'll be a high scoring game. I do think the Jaguars are going to win by around, or not the Jaguars, the Vikings. Excuse me. I think they'll win probably around 42-31. I think it'll be close, but I think we'll kind of pull away at the end and take the win.
All right, are you hoping for a interception today, or you just want to get that win?
I'll take an interception. I'll probably try to call one again.
Yeah, you called
But
it right on week 1. That was pretty nice.
If I get an interception, I'll be happy. But at the end of the day, the win's the only thing I care about.
Right. And one more question. Who do you think is going to win that Jets versus the Rams game?
I think it's going to be the Rams, and I think the Rams are going to win by about 3 possessions. I don't think the Jets have a strong enough defense to stop their pressing.
Oh, you hear that, Thomas? He said 3 possessions. We didn't even get any kind of Ram players on here. Everybody from the Rams then disappeared. I don't know what's going on with them. So you guys might be right with the Jets winning over the Rams. I don't know. They've been kind of
Yep,
quiet with the 0-2 start.
yep, yep. Because, yep, I said this already. My reason why the Jets are going to win this game. Rams don't even have any tempo with Orbit at quarterback. And most importantly, I know pressing's good, but you do have another running back to depend with pressing, including Payne Cash, who recently have early retirement. So apparently, I just don't see the Rams coming back from the first half and the second half. The Jets' defense is more elite for expansion team, and I'm sorry to say this, but Noah Johnson is going to outplay Orbit tonight.
I don't know about that. I mean, he is the reigning MVP, but so is Troy Pressing. I mean, I've said my call. I thought the Rams are going to win that. Um, I just don't know. I don't think that the Jets have enough back power to keep up with the Rams offense. I think that it's going to be a complete opposite game as the Vikings and Jaguars. I actually think the Rams are probably going to blow them out. I know I said by 7, but I don't think it's even going to be close. But we'll see. I mean, it's
It is
getting ready to
gonna be
come on in
close.
about 15 minutes, and we're getting ready to see that matchup happen.
I still think it's a close game, but apparently it's going to be a 10-point game. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to call right here. Orbit will have to throw 280 yards, 2 interceptions, only 1 touchdown.
Oh my God. He
Because
is
I
not
just
giving
don't
him
see
any
I don't see
credit.
Orbit's going to prepare for a good team like the Jets defense, even though they're an expansion team.
All right. We will see what happens in that game as we are 15 minutes away from kickoff. And at the end of week 3, some of the Rams players saying Orbit won't even throw the ball that much today. So, I mean, he has been holding on to the ball a lot lately. Hopefully they got that fixed and really get that ball out of his hands because he can definitely throw. It's just a matter of if they're going to allow him some time to even get rid of the ball or if he holds on too long. He's playing almost like he's scared. He's scared to throw or something. But if they can make that adjustment and tighten up that defense a little bit, then they'll be fine. Both of these matchups are going to be really good. I can't wait. 15 minutes away from them. I'm excited. This is the end of week 3. Going into week 4, we're going to start putting some more power rankings up, and hopefully I can get the show a little bit more organized and better, get you guys more interviews with the players, and get some more numbers up there as we see these different matchups happening today. I do want to talk about that Rams and Jets game a little bit more with their matchups. So on defense, the Rams have allowed 75 points in the last 2 weeks, which is horrible. I mean, they're almost the last in the league. Bengals is actually last, and then they're second to last. Points for, they've scored 67 points in 2 weeks, so semi-good, but not at the top of the ranks for that. Thomas, what do you got to say about that? I mean, I know you said that the Rams defense, you don't think they're going to keep up with the Jets offense today?
No, I don't think so because, like you said, that there might apparently, yeah, we have the worst. I know you said the Bengals had the worst. We allow 81, but they allowed 75, which is second to worst. There might be the second to worst defenses in the PSL. The Jets are going to pressure the defense more with Noah Johns' passing because I seen Noah Johns pass before when he's with the Miami Dolphins. He is a good of a passer. He's more accurate. He is like the next version out of Philip Rivers, or he's the next version of, well, I would say the next version of Deshaun Watson. He's one of the best quarterbacks out there. He's the reign MVP. He could pass it to his receivers, and apparently, their rushing core is a little decent. They can score a bit. The receiving core is more elite. I look at that game when the Jets face, I don't know what the hell, that the Jaguars. So apparently, I just say that Jets offense is going to pressure more on the Rams defense. I just don't see the Rams going to win with defense. I still think it's a 20-point game for the not 20, 10-point game for the Jets against the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I can see your point there. I see. It's just one of those games that's definitely going to be a good one. I think it's going to be way better than what people think it's going to be. I think the Jets definitely have a team that, if they can solidify a few more positions, especially in their secondary, that they would definitely be a team that will make it to the playoffs. We have a person in chat, I think it's Carter Merciless, says that the Rams gotta lock it down in the front seven. And in his opinion, his corners and safeties are great, and himself and the front seven has to get a lot of pressure. And I have to agree with that. They definitely have to get pressure on Noah Johns, because like you said, if he sets up, it's done. Like, if you give him time to get settled in the pocket and throw those passes, we've seen him throw, and that dude's amazing. And if the Rams don't get pressure on him and not allow him to set up, then this game might.
I'm sorry, but I'm more like the Max Kelvin in the room. I am disagreeing with Carter here. I don't think the front seven of the Rams could stop that. Will make pressure on Noah Johns. I think Johns is going to be more. Johns is even more smarter than the other defenses in the PSL as of last season. He is even smarter than the defense out of the Jags. He's almost being smarter than the Vikings defense. I still think Johns is going to be more better than the season progresses. And I just don't. And for this game, I don't think the front seven out of the Rams are going to pressure Johns. Johns is going to pass more than we expect, and I think he's going to embarrass the defense out of the Rams tonight.
The one funny part that I want to bring up about the Rams defense is that the Seahawks and the Vikings almost have similar numbers far as users on the defense. So, a few people might say, oh, it's because they got all these user players. They're a little bit lower ranking than some of the AI players. But, I mean, that's not necessarily true. We look at the Seahawks and Vikings, who are actually tied for points scored against them with 57, who have the same amount of user defender players, actually pretty lit on their defensive side for both of those teams. So I don't really know what the Rams' issue is. I don't know if it's a playbook issue or what's going on with them, but they definitely have to step it up there with 75 points against them in the 2 games. Now, Seahawks have 57 points against them in 3 games versus the Vikings in 2. So, it definitely tells the tale of how these defenses are built and what they're doing with their playbooks. So, we'll see what happens here today. I'm about to get off here so we can get this game rolling, because we are about 9 minutes away from kickoff. And I got to get me some water. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon in the game. It's going to be a good one. Let's see which one of us is right. I said the Rams. Thomas said the Jets. We've had a couple of guests on here with their picks, so we'll see what's going to hear as Carter gives us the final bits of his argument against Thomas. He said he's going to disagree with you, Thomas. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. I believe a new playbook was implemented at the beginning of the season. That could be the issue. I just need to talk to the squad, and we shall see how it goes. So,
still doesn't disagree with either way the playbook problem. That still doesn't matter. The front seven's not going to stop Noah Johns. He's still the reigning MVP. He's still going to win. He's still going to pass the front seven. Rams are going to win this game. Rams not win this game. The Jets are going to win this game.
You had it right the
Jets
first
are going to
time.
win this game by almost 10 points. I think Rams are going to win 38 to 28.
All right, there you guys have it. We'll be live in a few minutes, and can't wait to see you guys there. We're going to travel to New York and watch the Jets, and then we'll be traveling to LA to watch to Minnesota to watch the Vikings versus the Jaguars. So see you in a few. And I'm Ty, that's Thomas, and thank you guys for coming in, Derek and Jalen, and appreciate you guys tuning in to the channel.